Mary Polchaninoff, and welcome to Sure Things. Today, I continue my outreach program to bring you information about the many resources available to us and on the shoreline. Today, I'd like to welcome Tina Bascom, president of Bare Necessities. Welcome, Tina.
Welcome. Thanks for having me, Mary. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to be here. So.
Yes, I know we've talked. I've seen you on a few other shows, and I've been so interested in your mission. So thank you for coming on this rainy October day.
Yeah.
So why don't we start by you telling us a little bit about Bare Necessities and the mission?
Okay, so what Bare Necessities is we are a diaper bank on the shoreline, and we distribute diapers and wipes to families that can't afford them. We work through the local food pantries and social service organizations to find ways to get our clients to know about us, know that the service is available. We distribute once a month to areas between Guilford and Old Saybrook. We follow the Shoreline Soup Kitchens and Pantry model. So we also have clients that come from Chester, Essex, Centerbrook, because they're allowed to utilize the Shoreline Soup Kitchens and Pantries also. So we really cover a pretty large geographic area. And we've been doing this. We're actually turning 6 the end of November. So
congratulations.
We've been doing this since 2015.
How did you get involved in that?
So back in July of 2015, we've been volunteering for the food. I've been volunteering with the food pantry for probably most of my time here in Connecticut. I moved here in 1992. And so my girlfriend and I did a little research because there was always this long line in front of the food pantry in Clinton, or in front of the church in Clinton. And we found out that it was the food pantry and their clients waiting from like 5:30 at night till 8 o'clock at night with their families. And so we actually started serving all the clients pizza once a month. And through that, a young mom approached us and asked us if we knew where she could get diapers. And we had not a clue. Not a clue. So we took her number and we got her diapers. We met up with her, as any mom would do. And then we just started doing some research and discovered that there was no diaper bank between New Haven and New London. So the whole shoreline area was not covered.
So anybody from, say, New London would have to go, or from Westbrook would have to go into New Haven? Would they be able to get them?
They would not be able to.
Oh, they couldn't get them even in New Haven.
So that's, everything is very specific to the area which you live in. So there was nothing to service this group of people. So that was in July of 2015. By November of 2015, we were incorporated as a 501c3. Our first distribution was December of 2015, and it was 5 babies.
Oh my goodness, and how many do you have now?
Now we have over 720 babies on our roster, and we physically distribute at least right around 400 babies every month.
Wow, so when you say like 700 babies, do you actually have that connection with families? Do you know?
So what it is that they'll sign up for diapers, and then sometimes they only come a couple months. Sometimes they're there for 6 months. The babies get potty trained, they move out of the area. There's all sorts of reasons why they don't come back to the pantry. So that's why our numbers always fluctuate. Not our rostered numbers are different from our actual distribution numbers.
If I had a need to sign up for the diaper bank and I was going to Westbrook to do that or whatever, would I have to show just identification? Or
so we don't vet our own clients. So the pantry, so we follow the pantry guidelines. So they have to register with the food pantry and meet those qualifications. And then we have a small registration form for them to fill out so that we check their identification, just so we know that they're within our, within the towns they say. And they just give us the number of babies and then diaper size. So
it's interesting because when we were talking about it earlier, I was thinking about the cost of just the cost of diapers, because everything's going up anyway. But what would be like the average cost of diapers?
So the average cost is between $100 and $120 a month.
A month.
And so for a low-income family that has no government assistance for diapers, because there are no government subsidies that cover diapers, that's quite a strain. they have to take that out of whatever little cash they
Right,
have.
they might have. So you said that government subsidies don't cover diapers, but
Correct.
people could get, what is it, WIC and SNAP.
Yep.
That doesn't cover diapers?
That does not cover diapers.
So it's like foods. It's like
It's
a
really
food
just,
program.
it's the food, right, exactly. You can't buy toiletries, you can't buy cleaning supplies, any of that stuff with WIC or SNAP.
So, and that's huge. I would think
Yeah,
that's huge for
it's
so many
huge.
families.
Yes.
So, is there anything being done at a national level or on a specific level to address that, to get that put into place?
So we've been lobbying since well before we became a diaper bank.
Yeah.
And, with every new administration, we kind of have to start from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a lost cause. We keep pushing it. Every year we go down and we,
You go to Washington.
meet with them again. Yep, we go to Washington.
Wow.
The last 2 years have been a little different because we couldn't go into the offices, but we usually are meeting with an intern in the legislature, in the Senate and the House of Representatives, and we go and we just meet with all the representatives and just kind of try and get them to sign the petition and sign the we work really hard at it.
Oh,
so.
I can imagine, because it
Yeah.
is such a need.
Yeah.
When you think of the cost of diapers, and I don't even know what it would be per day. A diaper, how many diapers would you say?
So for us, average is 8 to 10 diapers that a baby uses a day.
8 to 10 a day.
So, and most of our clients, can't go to a big box store. A, they don't have transportation, and B, they don't have the funds to spend, $40 on a box of 250 diapers, which would be a much more economical expense,
Sure.
but they don't have that extra expendable cash.
They can't do that. And when they come, they get enough for. So you said you're once a month in different locations.
Correct.
So they get enough for the month?
So we give a subsidies. Sorry, we give about 70% of their monthly
Okay.
need. So so we don't give their full need, just because that's just we're still new.
Yeah.
We're still,
Yeah.
and the average that moms are short is usually 5 diapers a week, 5 to 10 diapers a week that they're short. So we kind of based it off of that from the get-go.
And then
And then, it's just been our mission to be, able to give as many as we possibly can and still sustain the program.
Sure.
So.
Now, New Haven has, I'm sure that many of big, larger urban areas
Yes.
have a lot more connections with the diaper
Correct.
network. Do you ever meet with any other organization pieces to talk about, brainstorm ideas and how it's going?
So we, the Diaper Bank down in New Haven is, been a great mentor for us.
Yeah.
There are 11 diaper banks throughout Connecticut. A lot of them are much smaller than us. Also, there's a very small bilingual one in New London. But, so we all kind of share information, and, because we have a website, sometimes we get people that just reach out to us because they see we give out diapers, and a lot of times they don't live within our area. So I just do a little research and let them know, try this place, try that place.
Where they might be able to reach
plug
out.
into their own community.
Right.
So.
Right. So you said you go from Branford to
Old Saybrook.
Old Saybrook,
Yep.
and then after Old Saybrook, does New London pick that up?
I believe they just service New London.
Okay.
So, because that's a very large piece.
Sure.
So, there's still those little pocket areas, that are not serviced yet.
No, that have some need there, and they're not serviced.
Yeah.
That's
So,
pretty intense.
the goal is for us to continue to expand over that way.
How many people do you have working with you?
So we have a board of 8, and we are an all working, all volunteers, so we're a working board. So we all get together and everybody does different tasks. We've got a president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and then we have other volunteers that help us, like with distributions and our large fundraiser and our smaller fundraisers. So we have a good volunteer base of people that believe in our cause, that are like-minded, and that just kind of a lot. And it's ironically, even through COVID, it's been easy finding volunteers because people want to get involved and stay local.
That's what I was going to ask you, how you find your volunteers.
Yeah, so.
And it sounds like you're not having a problem with it. So is it really mainly word of mouth?
Yeah,
Then
word of mouth.
Yeah.
People hear about us. People see us at a diaper drive. They see us at our fundraiser, and or they just, their church is doing a diaper drive, or however they find out about us. They'll reach out and say, "Hey, do you have any opportunities?"
And then they get to I went to the I went to the ducky one.
Our duck race, yes,
we're so fortunate because it's right in Clinton,
right,
and right there to see all the duckies. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's our biggest fundraiser, and even during COVID, it grew and grew. We had to have a ducky dip, which all the ducks went into a friend of ours, one of our volunteers, has a swimming pool. And so we did a dip instead of a race. So this year, June 25th,
that's when it is.
We are planning on being back on Indian River.
Yeah.
So that's our plan.
So you have the volunteers, and you're really working, it sounds like, with the soup kitchens, with the food pantry people. Is there other ways how do you get your message out? Are there other ways besides at the food pantries?
So we used to, it's so difficult. It's because you have pre-COVID and post-COVID and COVID. So, we used to go and stand at Stop and Shop and stand at Walmart and pass out information, and people would go in and buy diapers and wipes and, wherever we could stand and get the word out, wherever, we, business expos that the chambers are doing, like wherever we can plug ourselves in just to get the word out that we're around.
Right.
Obviously we haven't been able to do any of those things the past couple years.
Yeah.
But just because we've had some really large, we do a law enforcement diaper drive, which is phenomenal exposure for us. We have 7 departments that participate. So,
that's excellent.
Yeah.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about the fundraising happening and other parts about Bare Necessities. Be right back.
I'll be seeing you.
No, the thing I've missed the most during this entire time, this pandemic, has been you.
I love playing to a live audience. There's nothing like it.
The COVID-19 vaccines are going to help us all get back to the moments we miss.
It's totally normal to have questions. I did too.
That's why it's so important to get informed.
So ask your doctor and get the facts. It's up to you.
Community TV, your neighborhood TV.
Publicly funded and a reliable partner for cable companies nationwide, it provides transparent coverage of local and state government, education, and public programming.
A digital town green that can be watched anywhere, anytime, and on any device.
Watch us on today's high-tech distribution methods.
Community TV in Connecticut.
Local,
unfiltered,
reliable, and yours.
Hi, welcome back to Sure Things. I'm here today with Tina, president of Bare Necessities. Welcome back. So Tina, before the break, you were talking about the fundraiser you do, a law enforcement fundraiser. Can you tell me more about that?
So it's a law enforcement diaper drive, and we have 7 departments: East Haven, North Branford, Guilford, Madison, the state troopers, and
because that would help us, right?
Clinton. They all get together and they all promote people to come drop off diapers, wipes at the police department. So it's 24/7. They get all excited about it. We do a big kickoff photo, and
so I'm thinking, of course, I always think local at Westbrook. So that would be at the state troopers would say.
Correct,
doing
because Westbrook has a constable. They don't have a police, but people can drop them off anywhere. But the police department, the state police, they put a cruiser out. We have a big sign that's on 95, and so people can just drive in and drop them. The drop is right.
So
in that
it is
door.
off 95. There.
Yeah, you can do either way.
Yeah.
So, and it's hugely successful, and it's February 1st to the 15th every year.
That's
the date
what I was
doesn't
going to
change.
ask you.
Yeah.
But just to follow up on that, I'm wondering, that's where people can go and actually drop diapers off.
Correct.
What about if people want to just drop diapers off? How would they do that?
We do have drop-off locations, so they can drop them off at Clinton Social Services. They can drop them off at the Bootery in Clinton.
At the Bootery?
Yep. We
Okay.
have Just Hatched, which is in Guilford. A lot of our sites, when COVID happened, we haven't really started back up again. Some of them just aren't comfortable doing that. People can always, there's a contact us form on our website.
Yeah.
People can always reach out to us that way, or call our number, and we can make arrangements, tell them where to drop them off. We have a warehouse in Madison, so we can also, people could
Yeah.
also drop them off there.
And drop them off
Yeah.
there too.
So
yeah.
that just needs an appointment to make sure
Yeah.
somebody's there. So.
You mentioned a bit about things reopening after COVID. What impact did it have on your organization? the
Yeah,
whole
so COVID was, it was really challenging for
Yeah.
us. We did not stop distributing diapers. We did not miss a month.
Wow, you didn't.
We gave out 2 months worth of diapers
Okay.
for April and May, but other than that, we were distributing every month.
So the soup kitchens were open.
All the pantries were open.
All the pantries
correct.
are open, right?
Yep.
So you just
Yep.
you continued with that.
We continued with that. Our other agencies that weren't open, like social services
Yeah.
and things like that, that weren't open, I would physically go to that location and do it as a drive-through.
wow.
Everything's drive-through.
Tina, that's
so,
amazing,
Yeah,
the
so
work
we
that-
would.
the
It was a
work-
lot of work.
Yeah.
We weren't able to have volunteers.
Yeah.
Lucky that we had some really diehard people that were within our circle that we did that. Our board members stepped up and helped with diaper bagging
Yeah.
because we partner with Vista Life Innovations, and we're a job site for their students, and so we have students come twice a week
Oh, say-
to bag diapers for us.
Okay, because I was going to ask about
Yeah.
partnerships, but I would just follow up on the Vista.
Yeah, so-
the students, because Vista is in Westbrook too, right?
Correct.
That site.
Yep.
So they have students that come and what do the students
so they
do
come
for
with
you?
a job coach, and twice
they
a
do.
week they come and bag diapers for us.
Wow,
So-
and that's continuing.
It's continuing, yes. It's thriving. It's I think we have 9 students that come.
Wow, do they come just like
rotating.
once a week? They come
Twice a week.
Twice a
they
week.
come
they
on
come
Mondays
and
and Thursdays right
and they
now.
bag for
and they
you.
bag diapers for me. They're so good at it that I'm like finding jobs for them to do because we're in between deliveries.
That's wonderful.
So
That's
everything's
wonderful.
bagged. So I'm like finding little jobs
That's
for them.
wonderful.
So, but it's great.
What a
It's
great
really
support
good.
for you. So,
Yeah.
So that's one partnership.
Correct.
Are there other organizations you're partnering with?
It's not so much organizations, but we have such wonderful community partners
Mm-hmm.
that we could not do any of this without our community support. And, from the people that live in the communities to the businesses, to our major supporters, the Community Foundation of Middlesex County, the New Alliance Foundation, Essex Savings Bank, Guilford Savings Bank. I'm sure I'm missing some, but we have so many great partnerships
Right.
that believe in our mission and want to support our mission.
I was going to ask you that. So when you have these partnerships, do they help fund?
Yes.
They do help
Yes.
fund it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are fortunate that we have one of our board members is really good at grant writing. She's not a grant writer, but she's good at it. So we've been fortunate to really secure some grants that, we could not support our
Right.
program without.
Up there with that web designer is the importance
Oh,
of
yes.
the grant
Gosh,
writer.
anybody out there that
Right.
wants to volunteer website design, just upkeeping. It's already done,
Right,
but we
just
just need to
upkeep,
upkeep it.
That's interesting. I know, because
Yeah.
it is a good. There's a lot of valuable information on your website, especially even when you talk about your partners.
Right.
You have the list there, and I love the little bit of the video about the legislation and
Yes.
the work that you do with the legislator
Yeah.
there to try to really make an impact, because
Yeah.
that's huge. That it's not part of that.
It's such a little known need. People
Yeah.
just don't think about it.
Right.
And when they hear it and hear the statistics, 1 in 3 families,
Right.
have a diaper need. An average mom misses 4 days of work a month because she doesn't have enough diapers and wipes
Really?
to send her child to daycare.
Now that's heartbreaking.
Those types of
Heartbreaking.
statistics
Yeah.
are, and there's no government subsidy.
Yeah.
if parents don't have enough diapers, they leave their child in a diaper too long, they reuse a diaper, so therefore, you know, you've got staph infections and diaper rash and health issues.
All the
and,
health issues that go
you
with
know,
that.
and if you don't have diapers, you can't send your child to daycare.
Can't go to
period.
daycare. You can see the ripple effect. The impact is amazing
Right. It is.
on that. Now, you mentioned that you give out diapers and wipes.
Correct.
Looking ahead or in conjunction with that, do you see it branching out to other areas?
We had always, when we first started Bare Necessities, we had always said we would be diapers and toiletries. Right now, the diaper end of it has grown so much.
Yeah.
We're just not able to do that right now. We do adult briefs also. So we do help seniors and adults that have problems or, you know, can't afford, because there's another
They're not
hugely
covered either?
They're not covered either. So
Adult diaper? No. Wow.
So, you know, and then I think where our direction is going to go in, possibly, you know, not right now, but many diaper banks are starting to go into feminine hygiene.
Okay.
So, because that's another thing that's not covered.
That's not covered, so-
you know, so toiletries is a really big undertaking, and you know, we just don't have the manpower for it to do that right now.
Right,
So.
and with those type of items too, is there anything in the food pantries that cover that? I mean, they might have some of those, or
If they get donations,
if they get donations, it's all depends.
they
on,
have them, but not on a regular basis.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things that, you know, everybody thinks about food, but they don't think about the other things also.
Right.
So, you know, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, toothpaste, deodorant, you
All
know,
that, right.
all that stuff that just isn't covered.
Right. So you're hoping down the road.
Sometimes we get donations, and if we do, people do, you know, drop things off like that. Usually once every couple of months, we'll do a table where the clients can just pick stuff
come
off
pick
of.
and pick.
So.
And I know I've asked before, and I don't. Do stores ever again donate that, like with a Stop and Shop or a shop?
We
would they
haven't.
donate.
They
the
mostly donate things to the food pantry.
for the food, right? Okay.
We haven't found a local source.
Yeah.
We do partner. Huggies is the founding sponsor of the National Diaper Bank Network.
I didn't know that.
Of
Wow.
which we belong.
Yeah.
And so we're able to get diapers at a reduced cost.
Okay.
We also have partnered with BJ's, so
Mm-hmm.
that they've been really great in helping us get our diaper costs down. So.
Wow. That's
So.
so you have some great sponsors and
We do
partnerships
have some
there
great
going
partnerships,
that
yeah.
help with that. But
Absolutely.
But you have it sounds like a very active board of 8.
Yes, a very active
because
board of 8.
I know
yes.
from here you're actually going to a distribution.
Yes, I have distribution
Yeah.
on this lovely day
It's a
in
horrific stormy
Old
out there.
Saybrook, and you know, the clients will come, they'll get their food, come get their diapers.
Do they just know when you have a website? Do they just know that you're there in Old Saybrook today?
They know that I'm there the fourth
The
Tuesday
fourth,
of the
okay.
month.
All right, it's not that you do mass emailing,
no,
so you don't have to do
No,
that.
so we don't really have any, other than a name, we don't have contact information for
You
our
don't have
clients.
contact.
No.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Well, it's a wonderful
So,
cause.
but I love seeing the babies. I always love when they bring the babies.
They bring
with
the
them.
babies,
yeah,
too.
that's the reward. So.
As far as just speaking a little bit more
Yeah.
about the babies, the baby food and formula, that would be a food pantry thing.
Actually, the food pantries, they get donations of that, and
Yeah.
then they give that to me.
Oh, you do get that. Okay.
So they give that to us, and then we do the table thing.
Oh, all right.
And so we are able to get, because it's just difficult for them. They don't really,
Right.
especially now with everything being drive-through, they don't have a means of having like a table where you can just grab stuff
Okay.
from.
So that's another item that could be donated.
It could be donated
To
at
you.
the food pantries.
Right.
People could donate it at the food pantries, and then that automatically comes to us.
Okay.
So they put it in a box, and then when we're there, they give it to us.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
That's wonderful. What are your goals down the road, Tina?
I mean, our goals would be to, you know, obviously find more babies to serve.
Yeah.
You know, move into other areas, maybe go up north to
Yeah.
like Chester. They have food. Every town has food pantries,
Yeah.
as well as the big shorelines. So maybe to get into some of those smaller towns. One of our long-term goals is to get out to Groton at the military base.
Wow.
63% of our military live below the poverty line.
Wow, Tina, that is
And
an
so
awesome
we
goal. Wow.
really want to be able to get out there and figure out
Yeah.
how we can help those families.
Mm-hmm.
They can't accept monetary donations, but we can have a diaper bank.
Yeah.
So that's a ways down.
That's in your
yeah,
in
like
your
I was,
view there.
yeah, that's been in our view. We've met actually with a group of people over at the sub base.
Oh, so it is.
So
it's very real.
that was a couple years ago. So we've
Yeah.
the discussion has been started.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah,
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
So you find yourself out for distribution about once a week, do you feel like, when you look at all the different sites
yes,
you
pretty
have?
much once a week we're
Yeah.
out at some site somewhere or
Yeah.
distributing
Yeah.
somewhere, whether it
Right,
be
you're there.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
So
But I did want to also, again, mention your website has a lot of good
Yes.
information and a lot of, I saw that contact information
Yep.
and donation ideas are there
correct.
too as
Yep,
well.
absolutely.
So that would be a good place for people to get some more info.
Definitely, and it's www.barenecessitiesct.org.
Okay. I want to thank you again, Tina. This
great being here. Thanks for having me.
This was very enlightening and amazing, and I know our viewers will really appreciate this information.
Thank you
I
so much
really-
for
I really
having me.
thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I want to thank you for tuning in today. If you have any feedback, questions, or comments, please send them to surethingsct@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Till next time, take care and stay safe.